Each day presents us with moments that challenge our patience and disturb our peace. Whether it's getting stuck in traffic when we're already behind schedule, dealing with a coworker's annoying habits, or having our phone die during a crucial call, life is filled with these small struggles. But it's not just about these everyday irritations. It's about how we react to them that defines our days and, ultimately, our lives. Today, we'll explore the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy designed not just to endure these moments but to excel in them. Stoicism offers us tools to turn daily frustrations into opportunities for growth and inner tranquility. By the end of this video, you'll grasp why these principles have inspired some of history's greatest thinkers for centuries, and you'll gain practical strategies to begin living a more resilient and fulfilling life right away. So join me on this journey as we delve into how the calm and rational approach of Stoicism can help us manage our reactions, foster serenity, and achieve profound personal transformation. If you're interested in what we're discussing and want to continue learning together, please hit the subscribe button and make sure to watch the entire video for all the transformative insights we're about to uncover. Let's get started. It's important to recognize that everyone experiences anger. It's a natural part of being human. Stoicism, however, offers deep wisdom on this subject. It teaches us that while we might not control what happens to us, we do control how we respond. This is crucial for changing our relationship with anger. Consider this. When things go wrong or when we're frustrated by someone, our initial response might be anger. But what if we paused and reflected on this reaction? Stoicism encourages us to view these moments as opportunities to practice virtues such as patience, understanding, and resilience. Lesson 1. By acknowledging anger as a natural emotion, we prepare ourselves to manage it more effectively. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius often emphasized not being swayed by external events, but focusing on our internal responses. They believed that our emotions, including anger, stem from our judgments about events rather than the events themselves. So, when we feel anger, it's often because we're attaching a specific value or judgment to the situation. This insight gives us a powerful tool. Each time we feel anger rising, we can ask ourselves, what judgment am I making about this situation? Is there another way to see it? This isn't about suppressing or denying anger, but understanding it. By examining what triggers our anger, we can begin to alter our responses. For example, if you're cut off in traffic and feel anger rising, use this moment to explore why you react this way. Is it truly the other driver's action, or is it your belief that your path should be free of obstacles? Recognizing our anger can also help us develop empathy for others who are grappling with their own emotions. This empathy can strengthen our relationships and enhance our interactions. It's about extending compassion to both ourselves and others as we navigate the intricacies of human feelings. This concept is central to Stoic philosophy and is remarkably liberating once fully understood. Consider this. Much of our frustration and anger arises from situations or people we cannot change, no matter how much we wish otherwise. Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius emphasize that real power comes from distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot. You have control over your thoughts, decisions, and actions. That's it. Everything else, such as other people's behaviors, the weather, the past, and much of the future, is largely beyond your influence. Here's where it gets intriguing. By concentrating on our own responses and attitudes, we regain significant control. Instead of expending energy on things we can't change, we focus on what we can actually affect. Lesson 2. Let's apply this practically. Suppose you're working on a group project and one member isn't contributing as expected. It's easy to feel frustrated, right? Your temper might start to flare, but consider this. What aspects of this situation can you actually influence? You can't force your teammate to work harder, but you can decide how you respond to the situation. Perhaps you'll have a conversation about expectations or redistribute tasks within the group. By shifting your focus in this way, you not only alleviate your own stress, but also open up more constructive avenues to address the issue. Another key aspect of this Stoic principle is accepting that some things are simply beyond our control. This acceptance doesn't equate to resignation, but rather understanding where your true power lies. It's about not letting external events dictate your inner peace. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic and feel irritation because you're running late, pause and consider. Can you control the traffic? No, but you can control your reaction. Maybe you choose to listen to an audiobook, some calming music, or use the time to plan your day. Focusing on what you can control gradually builds a stronger, more resilient mindset. Over time, you'll find yourself less affected by life's ups and downs because you understand your responsibilities and limitations. This approach isn't about suppressing your emotions, but about channeling your energy more effectively. It's about being fully present, aware of your current situation, without being overly reactive or overwhelmed by external circumstances. This aligns well with Stoic teachings, which emphasize being mindful of our thoughts and actions and controlling our responses to external events. Lesson 3. Why practice mindfulness? It helps create a pause between our experiences and our reactions. By becoming more mindful, we can choose responses that align with our values and goals, rather than being carried away by emotions. This is especially useful when dealing with anger or frustration. For example, if someone says something upsetting, instead of reacting immediately or snapping back, mindfulness allows you to step back, observe your emotional response, and choose a reaction that you won't regret later. Incorporating mindfulness into daily life can be transformative. One simple technique is to focus on your breathing when you feel anxious or angry. Take a moment to breathe deeply and slowly. This focus draws your attention away from stressors and back to what you can control, your breath. Another method is mindful observation. Pick an everyday activity, such as drinking a cup of coffee, and concentrate fully on the experience. Notice the aroma, the warmth of the cup, and the taste. Engaging deeply with the present moment can turn a routine activity into a more meaningful experience. What's remarkable is that this practice trains your mind to apply the same level of awareness to more challenging situations. When anger or frustration arises, you'll be better prepared to handle it with the same focus and calm. Stoicism also teaches us about the fleeting nature of our experiences. Nothing lasts forever, including our emotions. Mindfulness supports this by helping us experience our feelings without judgment. When you feel anger, it's important to recognize and acknowledge it, but also to remind yourself that anger is just a temporary state. It doesn't define who you are or control you unless you let it. The universal truth that everything changes and nothing lasts forever can guide us through life's fluctuations with more grace and less frustration. Understanding that our circumstances, emotions, and thoughts are in a constant state of change allows us to embrace this fluidity rather than resisting it. Consider how often we become upset when things don't go as planned, whether it's a job promotion that didn't materialize, a relationship that ended unexpectedly, or a sudden health issue. Our initial reaction might be to resist these changes, feeling anger or sadness. However, Stoicism encourages us to view these situations through the lens of impermanence. When we fully understand that nothing is permanent, we start to see that our anger or disappointment is also temporary. This perspective doesn't negate the significance of our feelings, but provides a more balanced view. Lesson 4. Embracing the concept of impermanence helps us live more in the present and worry less about the past and future. Knowing that everything is temporary allows us to appreciate our experiences and relationships more deeply. We stop taking things for granted because we recognize that circumstances can change at any moment. This awareness can be freeing, reducing the impact of negative events and enhancing the enjoyment of positive ones. To practice accepting impermanence in daily life, start by reflecting on the transient nature of your surroundings and experiences. For instance, observe the changing seasons. Notice how your feelings fluctuate throughout the day, or how your relationships evolve over time. These observations serve as reminders that change is the only constant. Another approach is to adjust how you respond to disruptions or unexpected changes. Instead of reacting with frustration when things don't go as planned, take a moment to recognize that this change is part of the broader flow of life. It's an opportunity to adapt and grow. Think about instances where things didn't go as hoped, but something better eventually emerged. Often, only in hindsight do we see how these changes were beneficial. Stoicism not only asks us to accept impermanence, but also to find strength in it. Each change and ending is a chance to practice resilience and flexibility. By adopting this mindset, we handle life's challenges more effectively and approach them with a sense of peace and anticipation for what's to come. Stoics believe that gaining insight into the root causes of our emotions can lead to greater self-mastery. Understanding our emotions equips us to respond to life's challenges in ways that align with our values and goals, rather than reacting out of habit or impulse. Every emotion we experience, be it anger, joy, sadness, or fear, is triggered by our perceptions. For example, if you feel angry when interrupted while speaking, explore why. Is it because you feel disrespected, or does it reflect a deeper insecurity about being heard? By examining these questions, you begin to understand not just your reactions, but also the underlying beliefs and values. This understanding is crucial as it offers the opportunity to adjust your perceptions and, consequently, how you feel. Stoicism teaches that our emotions are based on our judgments, and judgments can be examined and changed. When experiencing strong emotions, Lesson 5, take a step back and ask yourself, what am I believing right now? Is this belief true? Is it helpful? This questioning can be powerful, allowing you to shift your perspective and choose a more constructive emotional response. For instance, if you're anxious about a work presentation, it might stem from the belief that you need to be perfect to earn respect. But is this belief accurate? Likely, your colleagues value your effort and sincerity more than perfection. Recognizing this can ease some of your anxiety and help you approach the situation with greater calm and confidence. Practically, journaling can be an excellent tool for understanding your emotions. By writing down your feelings and exploring their causes, you can uncover patterns and triggers you might not have noticed otherwise. This reflection not only helps in managing your emotions, but also in understanding and improving your responses to various situations. Acknowledging your anger is important. Recognize it, but also remind yourself that it's a temporary emotional state rather than a reflection of your entire being or something that controls you unless you allow it. The fundamental truth that everything changes and nothing is permanent can help us manage life's fluctuations with greater composure and less frustration. By understanding that our circumstances, emotions, and thoughts are always shifting, we can embrace this constant change instead of resisting it. Think about how frequently we become upset when things don't go as expected, whether it's a missed job promotion, an unexpected relationship end, or a sudden health issue. Our first reaction might be to resist these changes with anger or sadness. However, Stoicism encourages us to view these situations through the lens of impermanence. When we fully appreciate that nothing is permanent, we come to understand that our anger or disappointment is also transient. This perspective doesn't diminish the significance of our emotions, but helps us maintain a balanced viewpoint. Lesson 4. Accepting impermanence enables us to live more in the present and worry less about the past and future. Recognizing that everything is temporary allows us to value our experiences and relationships more deeply. We stop taking things for granted because we are aware that circumstances can shift at any moment. This awareness can be liberating, reducing the impact of negative events and increasing our enjoyment of positive ones. To practice embracing impermanence daily, start by reflecting on the fleeting nature of your surroundings and experiences. For example, observe how the seasons change, notice how your emotions fluctuate throughout the day, or how your relationships evolve over time. These observations serve as reminders that change is the only constant. Another approach is to adjust your response to disruptions or unexpected changes. Instead of reacting with frustration when things don't go your way, take a moment to recognize that this change is part of the broader flow of life and an opportunity to adapt and grow. Think about times when things didn't work out as expected. but something better eventually emerged. Often, only in hindsight do we see the benefits of these changes. Stoicism not only asks us to accept impermanence, but also to find strength in it. Every change and ending is an opportunity to practice resilience and flexibility. By adopting this mindset, we can handle life's challenges more effectively and approach them with a sense of peace and anticipation for what's next. Stoicism also emphasizes the value of patience, not just as a way to endure, but as a method to transform our experiences. According to Stoic philosophy, patience isn't merely about waiting, it's about how we conduct ourselves while waiting. It's about maintaining our composure and dignity in the face of life's delays and challenges, recognizing that these are often beyond our control. In daily life, we encounter numerous situations that can trigger impatience, from slow-moving lines at the grocery store to traffic jams or delayed responses from colleagues. Our first instinct might be irritation or stress, but Stoicism encourages us to view these moments as opportunities to practice patience. Each instance of delay is a chance to reinforce our ability to remain calm and collected. Lesson 6. To develop patience practically, start by adjusting your expectations. Often, impatience arises from a mismatch between our expectations and reality. By acknowledging that delays and obstacles are natural parts of life, we are less likely to become upset when they occur. This doesn't mean lowering our standards, but aligning our expectations with the reality that the world won't always meet our preferences. Another key method is to use moments of waiting as opportunities for growth and reflection. If you're stuck in traffic, instead of getting frustrated, turn it into a productive or relaxing time. Listen to an audiobook, practice deep breathing, or reflect on your day. This shift in perspective transforms a frustrating situation into a valuable experience. Mindfulness is also a powerful ally in cultivating patience. By staying present and fully engaging with the moment, we can distance ourselves from feelings of urgency and restlessness. Mindfulness helps us maintain a peaceful state of mind, shielding us from impatience. Stoicism advocates not only for patience but also for understanding the impermanence of our current state. Remembering that this too shall pass can help us endure unpleasant situations, whether it's waiting for a delayed flight or enduring a lengthy recovery from an illness. Knowing that these situations are temporary makes them more bearable. Finally, celebrating small victories is crucial for developing patience. When you manage to stay calm in a situation that would normally make you impatient, acknowledge and reward yourself. This reinforces the behavior and increases the likelihood of it becoming a habit. Forgiveness, in the Stoic sense, isn't about condoning wrongdoings or forgetting the harm done. It's about freeing ourselves from the emotional burden of holding grudges. Forgiveness requires strong self-awareness and emotional control, qualities that Stoics strive to develop. It involves recognizing that while our anger and hurt are valid responses to perceived injustices, they are ultimately within our control. Forgiveness can be challenging and often requires a deliberate effort to release deep-seated feelings of injustice. Consider the power of choosing not to let someone else's actions disturb your inner peace. Lesson 7. Stoic forgiveness is about making a conscious choice to not let past actions continuously affect your current state of mind. This choice helps you reclaim your emotional energy and redirect it towards more constructive pursuits that align with your values and goals. To start practicing forgiveness in everyday life, begin by recognizing that all humans, including ourselves, are fallible and make mistakes, sometimes out of ignorance, sometimes out of malice. Reflecting on our own flaws can foster empathy towards others, making it easier to forgive. Another Stoic practice is to consider the bigger picture. Often, the grievances we hold on to are minor in the grand scheme of our lives. By focusing on our long-term well-being, which is supported by peace and harmony, the immediate sting of grievances can be mitigated. Practicing forgiveness also involves reframing our narratives. Instead of viewing yourself as a victim, which can perpetuate anger and helplessness, try to see yourself as a survivor or even a hero of your story, someone who has overcome challenges and emerged stronger. This shift in perspective not only makes forgiveness easier, but also strengthens your personal growth journey. Engaging in meditation or mindfulness exercises can further aid in this process. These practices help calm your mind, creating the space needed to process your emotions more thoughtfully rather than reactively. While you sit in quiet contemplation and focus on your breathing, allow thoughts of forgiveness to surface. Visualize those you feel have wronged you and mentally send them goodwill. This doesn't mean condoning their actions, but rather choosing to free yourself from their negative impact. Forgiveness is a journey, and sometimes it takes time. It doesn't happen instantly, and that's perfectly okay. Each step towards forgiveness, no matter how minor, contributes to a more liberated and emotionally balanced life. At its core, self-control gives us the ability to pause before acting. Lesson 8. It provides the opportunity to evaluate whether our impulses align with our long-term goals. For example, if you're striving to live a healthier lifestyle, self-control helps you resist eating junk food late at night. In emotionally charged situations, self-control allows you to withhold harsh words or angry responses, thus preserving relationships and maintaining inner peace. So how can we enhance this vital skill? One effective Stoic practice is to regularly reflect on our actions and their outcomes. Take a few minutes each evening to review the choices you made during the day. Were there times when you lacked self-control? What triggered these lapses? Understanding these patterns is the first step in managing them. Another powerful approach is to establish clear personal rules based on your values. Stoicism teaches that living according to rational principles is crucial for a fulfilling life. By setting and adhering to your own rules, such as not using your phone during meals or limiting social media time, you exercise self-control in ways that positively impact your daily life and well-being. Visualization can also be a helpful tool. Before facing a situation where you might be tempted to act impulsively, take a moment to mentally rehearse handling it with calm and restraint. Imagine the satisfaction of sticking to your principles. This mental practice can make it easier to maintain composure in challenging situations. Increasing your tolerance for discomfort is another effective way to build self-control. Stoics believe that voluntarily facing discomfort, whether through cold showers, fasting, or resisting urges, can strengthen your willpower. These practices show us that we can endure discomfort and that it's often less daunting than we expect. This understanding enhances our ability to exercise self-control in more complex emotional or social scenarios. Remember, practicing self-control is a continuous journey, not a final destination. There will be times when you falter, and that's part of being human. What matters is recognizing these moments, learning from them, and striving for improvement. Every act of self-control, no matter how small, is a victory and a step towards becoming a wiser, more balanced individual. Thank you for joining me today at Stoic Journal. Remember, each step towards mastering your emotions brings you closer to a more peaceful life. Don't forget to explore one of the suggested videos on your screen to continue your journey in Stoicism. Together, we're not just learning, we're transforming.